Hi, I'm Alex Horton, Assistant Principal Bass of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. The excerpts I just performed are from Brahms' Second Symphony, and they have all become staples on bass audition lists because they can give an audition committee an idea of your playing in terms of technique and also how you express yourself musically. Before I even start preparing this piece, I like to think of the compositional process that Brahms went through for the First Symphony as compared to the Second Symphony. So for the First Symphony, he agonized and obsessed over it for over 15 years. And I think that feeling is kind of reflected in the piece. The piece is kind of dark. The Second Symphony, he started composing the following summer, and he was finished in just a few months. So a lot less time, and the mood reflects that. It's very, on the happier side, more lighthearted. And so the way that I like to think about that throughout the piece is by the way I use my bow. So nothing is ever fully side to side or really dug into the string, but more, I think of like making small U shapes with my bow to kind of scoop the sound out of the string. So, or the accents that come later. So never any forced sound and always thinking of moving forward to the next measure. I think that as bass players, we get really in the weeds with the technical side of things. So for example, in the fourth movement, all bass players worry about how clear is my stroke. And I found it really helpful to just slow it down and think about the shape of the line. So. And when you speed it up, it's helpful to think of that in a smaller context. So a smaller amount of bow, but with the same shape. So instead of worrying about, is my stroke clear or accurate, I worry more about the shape of the line and try to just keep a relaxed feeling in my right arm. So. accents in this piece, I think, are more lyrical. So not too sharp on the front of the note, but just a slight emphasis. And throughout the beginning of the first movement, there are staccato eighth notes and quarter notes, so it's helpful to go through and define the length of that, either by playing them in scales or just isolated notes. So these are eighth notes. And then I think of the quarter notes not exactly twice as long, but longer. It's a very small detail, but it can really make you stand out in the context of an audition to really pay attention to every single detail. Another important thing to remember is that perfection is not the goal of your preparation. Obviously, we want to keep getting better and we want to keep learning and figuring out how to play the best we can. But it's really important to present a compelling musical performance, more so than achieve perfection. You know, I have yet to perform a perfect performance in my life, and I don't think I ever will. And that's okay. It's okay to be imperfect, but you have to be out there doing what you love to do and sharing music with as many people as you can.